Right. All right. Hey guys. So this call is going to be talking about how to become Premier and Elite in 2016. So I have a lot of info coming at you. Make sure you've got your notes ready to go. Let's do a share screen real quick. There we go. Jessica, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? We're good. All right. So as you saw, Cara announced it earlier, we are officially locked in for Premier of 2015. So that means I hit Premier Coach for 2015. I was also Premier Coach for 2014. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. Only 76 coaches out of 300,000 last year hit Premier. Only 76. So I was in like the top of the top coaches. This year, I don't know how many have hit it because it won't be like all official until the 10th. But so take what I'm saying the most serious you can because I do know what I'm talking about. So if your goal is to be a diamond coach next year, if your goal is to be a full-time coach next year to fire your boss, these are goals you want to go for because this is how you're going to build residual income and this is how you're going to grow your team. So first things first, you're probably like, Ashley, what the hell is this Premier thing? So Premier is being a 2-star diamond coach. So what that means is not only are you diamond, you have 2 other diamonds underneath you. And I know that can sound super scary because you're like, girlfriend, I'm barely emerald. What the hell are you talking about? You can get there. I went from an emerald coach to a 2-star diamond coach in 9 months. So it is completely possible. And you also have to get 135 elite points. And I will go further into what elite points are when I get to that slide. So what is an elite coach? An elite coach is being a 5-star diamond coach. That means you have 5 diamond coaches underneath you. Now, this is where things can get tricky because it can't be, if you know the left leg, right leg system, it can't be 4 coaches on the left leg diamond and 1 coach on the right leg diamond because that only makes you a 3-star diamond. You have to have a balance. You have to have like 3 and 2 or 3 and 2. Yeah, that really went well too. So you have to be a 5-star diamond coach and for these ranks, you have to be paid these ranks on the last Thursday of the year. So like poor Jessica and poor Cara, I have been having a freaking heart attack for the last 2 days because one of my emeralds was going to drop, which means I would not have been a paid 2-star diamond. So I was freaking the heck out. So you have to be a paid 2-star or 5-star on the last Thursday of the year, which is actually December 30th of next year for my planner girls. All right, so what are these elite points that I'm talking about? There are 3 categories for elite points. And the sooner you lock in diamond, the sooner you start to earn your elite points. You cannot get elite points until you're diamond, and you have to keep your diamond in order to get them. So that's why it's super, super important to lock in your rank and hold that rank so you can get these elite points. So there's 3 categories. I had to take a drink of my Shakeology. There's what we call ATV or ACTV. No, it's ATV. I put it on wrong on the slide. Acrumental team volume. Then there's PV, which is personal volume from your 2016 coaches. And then Success Club from 2015 and 2016 coaches. I'm going to dive into these a little bit further. Okay, so what is ATV? ATV is the total amount of team volume for everybody below you, 5 coaches below you. So what that means is, for example, here's me, here's my husband. So I get any volume from him goes up to my team volume. Here's Debbie. So it goes me, husband, Debbie. I get any volume from Debbie and up. Here's Debbie's coach, Shannon. I get all that volume. And then here's Shannon's coaches. I get all that volume. So it's 5 generations deep. You get all that volume. So it just doesn't come from your personally sponsored coaches. It goes from any coaches that they sign up, which is why it's very important to invite like crazy and to get your coaches started right. So here's a little like example. So in 2014, Team Fire to Get Fit, our entire ATV was 128,224. For every 10,000 that I grow in that ATV, I got 1 point. So as of last Thursday, we had 362,135 PB. So I've gotten 23 elite points this year from our ATV growing. The more you invite, the more you add coaches, the more your coaches add coaches, the more active you are, the more challenge packs you sell. That is how you grow your ATV. You have to stay active. Your coaches have to stay active. That is what grows ATV. Now, if you're going for Premier, you can get as many points. You could get like 135 points in ATV, and that's good. If you're going for Elite, you max out in certain categories. So for ATV, if you're going for Elite, you can only get up to 40 ATV points in 1 year. 40 for my people writing this down. And we'll have question and answers at the end, I promise, because some of you are looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about? Next, 2016 PV coaches. Yes, I mean 2016. I don't mean 2015 coaches. This is, again, where it comes into inviting and adding daily. So, for example, any volume that Jessica or Melissa get into next year, it doesn't count towards my elite points. It only counts for new coaches added in 2016. You get 1 point for every 500 PV from 2016 coaches per month. So, for example, if Sarah got 250 volume and Beth got 250 volume, boom, there's 1 point right there. So the more coaches you add, the more volume you're going to get in the personal sponsored PV. For Elite, you can only get up to 61 points in this category. Once you hit that, you've maxed out and you got to move on to the other categories. All right, and then the last one. This one is very important. This probably is what is going to help you get your elite points the quickest. And if you focus on this department, this will make everything else fall into place. Success Club. You get 1 point for every coach that signed up in 2015. So this year, and any coach that signed up in 2016, you get 1 elite point. So for example, Cara signed up in 2014. I got points from her this year when she hit Success Club. Next year, I won't get any points from her. So this is why it's important to stress to your coaches that they have to hit Success Club, that it's like a non-negotiable in their business, because not only does it grow your team volume, if they're a new coach, then that means they're getting PV, which means you'll get elite points in that category, and then you're going to get elite points in this category. And then the kicker is if you get Success Club every month, which if you're going for Elite or Premier, you better be doing it, your points will double. So if Cara got Success Club this month, I'd get 2 points from her. So for example, like 1 month I had 5 personally sponsored coaches get Success Club. I got 10 elite points in that month alone because it doubles. So refresh real quick. ATV, 2016 coaches PV, 2015 and 2016 Success Club points. Again, if you focus on the Success Club, everything else will fall into place. So how do you get there? These are my tips on how you're going to get there. Inviting. If you are shooting for Premier or Elite, 4 to 5 invites per day. And I know some of you are like, seriously, Ashley, shut the front door. It's true. How do you think some of these coaches are top coaches? I'm not saying you have to invite 15, 20 people a day like the top 10 coaches do, but you need to strive for 4 to 5 a day. And that's to make up for days that you don't invite. Because chances are if you can at least push for 100 invites a month, chances are you'll probably get anywhere from 5 to 10 of them saying yes. And that's inviting to the business. So by inviting, you're going to grow your ATV and your PV elite points. In 2014, from March until December, I had 60 personally sponsored coaches. And for you guys that are been in the team for a while, you know I can recruit like none other. I hate the word recruit because it sounds like so like bleh, but I can add coaches because I'm inviting and I'm sharing my story. I have no problem adding coaches. So you've got to focus on this. So if you're like, Ashley, I can't add as many coaches as you, why not? I'm just an ordinary, regular Joe Schmo, and I'm able to add those many coaches. So if you're inviting, you can also add coaches. So if you're someone that's like, my goal is to add 6 coaches by the end of 2016, I'm going to tell you, shut the front door. You should be adding that many coaches within a 2-month span. So inviting is how you're going to get there. Success Club. If you are listening to this and this is your goal, you have to hit Success Club every single month. If you're not hitting it, say goodbye to Premier, say goodbye to Elite. There is no way I would have been Premier this year if I wouldn't have hit Success Club every single month. You have to do it. Just think, if you're not hitting Success Club, why would your coaches be motivated to hit Success Club? Why would your coaches be motivated to work the business? They're going to follow in your footsteps. That'd be me like telling you guys, like, you have to hit Success Club every single month, but I never hit it. So good luck with that. No, you got to hit it every single month. Work with your coaches. Work with the coaches that want it. Do not work with the coaches that don't want it. I'm not saying don't ever check in with them, but you have to put your focus and energy in the coaches that want this. So work with them. If you're not hitting this goal, you're not hitting this goal. Your entire team is hitting this goal. So for example, on next week's call, we're going to talk about what we want as a team for next year. Do we want to be premier? Do we want to be elite? Obviously, this is a goal that I'm going for, but I can't hit that goal if the rest of the team isn't on board. So you have to include you have to talk to your personally sponsored coaches as you start the year and be like, all right, guys. Or even as they join, be like, this is the goal that we're going for. Do you want to do this? Do you want to be a premier team? And some people will be like, I don't really understand. Like, you're really the premier coach. Like, how does this benefit me? It gives you, I can't seem to talk. I apologize, guys. It gives you bragging rights. Your team is now in the top % of the entire organization. You get exclusives. You get sneak peeks. You get invites. And then you just get to show your coaches that you're leading by example and that you're making it happen. You have to train your new coaches. That means you have to get them started right. Get them on the phone the minute they sign up. Get them right plugged into training. Get them going through the new coach training that I have on the Team Fire to Get Fit website. Get them involved right away. And those that want to be diamond, work with them weekly. Now, I'm not saying be a pain in their ass and nag them daily. I'm saying check in with them. Make sure that this is their goal. Give them objectives to hit. Give them goals to hit. But you have to work with the ones that want it. Because if you're not working with any of your coaches, you're not going to make this goal. This is a group team effort. All right. You can do this. Believe in yourself that you can do this. And know that if you fall short of the goal, that's okay. So this year, I wanted to be an elite team. My feelings on Premier were not the greatest. And I was like, I'm going to be elite this year. But I never talked about it with the rest of the team starting in January. I didn't even bring it up until August. And by that point, it's like, why did I wait 8 months? That was my fault. I never discussed it with the entire team if that's what a goal that they wanted. So you make up your mind tonight after this phone call if this is something you want to go after. If it is, then guess what? I'm going to be your new best friend. That means we're going to have weekly check-ins. We're going to have weekly calls. That means if you give me an excuse and be like, excuse me, you told me on December 22nd that you wanted to be an elite coach. Your excuse shows me you don't want to be an elite coach. So if this is something that you really want, let's dive deeper into it. Let's discuss and set goals for every single month. Because trust me, I never thought I could be a premier. I never had it on my radar at all last year. And then I hit it and I was like, oh, whoa, I can actually do this. Like, holy crap, like I'm a premier coach. And it never even really sunk in. And then I walked across Summit Stage and I was like, they just said my name in front of 100. I don't know how many people were there. There's a lot of coaches there. But it's like this feeling that you achieved something, that you grew your team, that you set a goal and you made it happen. So I know that's a lot of information. And some of you be like, Ashley, dear God, I can't talk. Some of you are like, I don't really understand. So I wanted to open up to you guys. Again, I'm going to take you guys off mute, but please mute yourself if you don't want to talk, minus my phone callers. I love you guys, but I get too much static. Oh, there's somebody else that must be on a phone. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Does any of that not make sense? Debbie, hit me with your questions. I know you got one.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, I hope this is recording.
It is.
Because, yeah, I got the last part about Success Club 5, so I'm good there.
Okay. Listen to the recording and then touch base with me.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about Premier Points, how to hit them, questions on what you should be doing every month, what your goal should be every month? I really want to make this a general, I want to talk about this because I think this is something that a lot of you can go for and a lot of you can make happen if you decide that you want to do it. Yeah, Nichelle.
You're 4 to 5 per day.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than just inviting to your network. That's actually after you invite to your network, start the process of talking about the programs?
That's inviting them to coaching. Yeah, that's like messaging them and being like, hey, like whatever message you want to do. It could be like, hey, you popped up in my newsfeed. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. This is what I've been doing. I'm sure you've seen my posts. Have you ever thought about it before? I think it'd be a great fit for you. Something like that. That's directly inviting people to become a coach.
Okay.
I think we should do another 100 coach invite, maybe group.
I think that's a great idea. Debbie, do you want to make an event for it in the team page?
Sure, sometime in January.
Why don't we just start at January 1st?
All right,
Kick the new year off right.
I'm on it.
Perfect. I know somebody has to have a question. That is a lot of jargon to throw at you guys. That probably does not make a whole. Hi, Layla. Hi,
Hey.
beautiful girl.
Hi. So I have a quick question about the maxing out, like
Okay.
for points and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, I guess pretty much like for the top coaches, like how do they even, like how do the rankings go, I guess? Like is there other ways to get points after you max out?
No, so for elite, what I mean by max out is you have to get a combined 135 elite points for elite. Man, you guys can't see me now that I moved my computer. Let me go back to where I was. There we go. So for the Success Club, you can only get 61. For the PV, you can only get 61. And then for ATV, you can only get 40. So what that means is if you add that up, that's more than 135 points. So basically, a coach can't become an elite coach by having all their points in one category. They have to spread them out. But you can still get unlimited points. Like Melanie Mitchell probably has like 3,000 elite points, and that's how they rank where coaches are at.
Okay, got it. That's what I was wondering about. I think I had read up on it and just kind of wondered what they meant by maxed out. So I was like, well, how do they figure any of that out then?
Yeah. So like
sense.
for Premier, it doesn't matter where your points come from. If you get 135 points in the Success Club, great, you're a Premier coach. You just have to have 135 points regardless.
Okay, got it.
And I guess I should probably tell you some of the benefits. I guess we didn't talk about. So what are, go ahead, Debbie.
Nope, go.
No, what were you going to say? And then I'll go into it.
I said 135 points for Premier.
135 for both Premier and Elite, but there's just two separate categories for it. So Premier is 2-star, Elite's 5-star.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I guess I should probably explain some of the benefits. That would probably help because you're probably like, Ashley, why should I go for this goal? Like, what's the point of it? So when you become a 2-star coach, obviously you have to be a 2-star to even be considered Premier. You get to open up a second business center. So for me, I have 3 business centers. I have mine, my husband's, and my second CBC. That means you basically, think of it, you get to open up another franchise of yourself. And that again is how you grow your business because now you can make your second CBC an Emerald, which means you get more cycle bonus. Also, when you're 2-star, if you hold, there's a lot of background noise. I don't know who that's coming from. Debbie, I muted you. I love you, but I was getting background noise. When you're a 2-star diamond coach and you hold your rank for 6 weeks out of every quarter, so there's 4 quarters in a year, you hold it for 6 weeks, you get a bonus. The 2-star bonus is anywhere from $800 to $1,000 once a quarter. I don't know about you guys, but that's a nice hefty chunk of change that can really help. So that's another perk of being a 2-star or a Premier. For your Premier, you get recognition on Summit. You get to walk on stage and pray to God you don't trip in front of 30,000 people watching you and then the other 30,000 live at home. You get you get Premier swag. I hate that word. Hate it. Clothing. You get VIP seats at Summit. So for my people that went to Summit and hated the bleachers, you want to sit on the comfy chairs, you be Premier. That's how you come to the comfy chairs. And then you get invited to like VIP events during like the cruise and whatnot. Elite gets a shit ton of perks and I'm super jealous of them. They get their super awesome Elite roses that they send out at the beginning of the year for all the Elite coaches. I'm super jealous. I'm like, can I get a Premier weed? Somebody send me a bunch of weeds just for hitting Premier, please, anything. So you get your Elite roses. You get a medal that says you're Elite. you get invited to an elite party at Summit. That's if you guys went to Summit, that's where the guitars came from. They got early access to the workouts. They got to try the pre-supplements first. And then when you're a 5-star, there's another tier for bonus. So if you're a paid 5-star, you not only get the 5-star bonus, but you get the 2-star bonus. So the 5-star bonus is anywhere from $2,300 to $3,000. So on top of the $1,000 2-star bonus. So right there is an extra $3,500. So those are some of the perks of hitting Premier and Elite. And I probably should have mentioned in the beginning because some of you are probably like, I don't give a crap about this if I don't know what I'm getting for it. But if you're like a goal-driven person and you're competitive, this is like a perfect goal for you to go after.
Or if you just like goals and you're not trying to compare yourself to other people, it's also something that you can do for yourself.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm just saying for some people that are competitive, like this is something that like may really work for them. Because like I know for me, like I wanted more elite points than I had last year. I wanted like more of this than I had last year. Anybody have any questions on any of that? I know it's a lot of jargon, but I feel like it's something that we have to talk about before we go into 2016, because if this is something you want to do, you've got to be striving for this every single month, which means if you're like right close to diamond, if you're right there, that means you want to lock in your diamond ASAP so you can start getting your elite points for the entire year. Because if you don't hit diamond until like August or September, you have to bust ass to get those elite points. So the sooner you lock in your diamond, the sooner you can start earning those elite points.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you said 61 points for 2016 coaches PV, 51 points for Success Club.
Yep.
You said something about 40 points.
That was for the
I remember
ATV.
40.
ATV.
Okay. That was my question then.
Perfect.
Well, why is it on then? Okay, well, let's give it.
And the ATV, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You have to be like go from one year to the next, or just for the whole entire team?
Good night, Layla. So it would be coaches below you. So if you had 0 ATV for coaches below you in 2015, and you get like 300,000 in 2016, that's 30 points right there because you're going up against nothing from the previous
10,000
year. So for example, for me starting out in January, it's going to be a while until I get ATP points because I have to surpass that 300,000 that we got this year. Yeah.
Right.
ATV kind of comes into play later.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
So since I haven't, I mean, true, the year is not over yet, but since I haven't signed up anybody, and I do next year,
then you're good.
As long as it's 10,000 points on, I'll get a point for every 10,000.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You'll be good. Like for me, for this year, for example, I didn't start to earn ATV points until probably April, May, because I had to surpass all that volume from the previous year. Anybody else have any questions? Is anybody like, nope, I'm out, I'm not going for this goal? Or is we like, yep, we're going for it? Like, who's wanting to make this happen? And if you're not sure yet, that's completely fine. You can message me later. But I would love to have I would love to have coaches next year that are walking across the stage with me and that have made this happen and they're making their goal happen, because nothing makes me more than a proud mama upline or grandma upline or great grandma upline to some of you than to see you guys hit these goals. Like when Debbie quit her job, I legit cried. Happy tears. Legit cried. Debbie's frozen, so I can't even see her face.
Oh,
There
she
she
said
is.
diamond by December 31st.
Oh, I have to unmute Debbie. I'm going to just quit recording this call.